Hello, I am going to be replacing the battery on this Oral-B Braun Triumph Professional Care toothbrush. It's probably about 2 years old right now, maybe older, and I brush my teeth for a long time, probably 4 to 5 minutes at a time, and I don't really hold the charge more than about 3 or 4 days now, where I think I used to be able to hold it for maybe a week, maybe longer, and it's got a NiCad battery in there, so that's obviously the reason why it doesn't hold a charge. So I think I'm going to be doing part video, I might be doing part video and part still photos mixed into the edit to try to explain the process. Mostly what we're going to be doing with this is I'm going to be removing this top ring with a flat screwdriver, and I'll show that to you. Hopefully I'll show that to you in the video. And then after that ring comes off, we're going to go to the bottom of the unit and attach the battery charger, the AC charger that comes with this. There's a little piece on that charging unit that will go into the bottom of this toothbrush and unscrew it. We're going to unscrew it. And then once this is unscrewed, we'll remove this bottom piece. This white bottom piece will come off. And then inside this unit is the whole motor system. There's two little tangs. I believe they are called poontangs, but there's two little tangs in there that hold this unit in. We'll depress those two tangs. This unit will slide out. The whole circuit board, the PC board, will slide out. And then on the top of this unit is well, you'll see it when I open it up, but on the top of this unit, on the PC board, we will have, I believe, the switch that I need to remove from here. And I think that's going to be using a T6 Torx screwdriver. And then we'll go to the circuit board and unsolder the battery tabs that are holding the battery in place, and then put the new battery in. So hopefully this goes really well. I'm going to shut off the video right now, and we'll continue in a minute when I get my tools to remove this top. Let's try to zoom in on there a little bit. The top ring over here. So, all right, back in a Okay, we are back. I'm using a flat blade screwdriver, and I'm going to remove, this might be too thick for me. Yeah, that's a little too big. Let me get a more narrow screwdriver. I'll be using a narrow blade, and this looks very fragile, extremely fragile, and if you crack it, I'm assuming, well, if I crack it, I'm assuming this ends up going in the garbage can. So let me get the screwdriver in here, and I'm going to move this up closer. So all I'm going to be doing is taking the screwdriver and putting it, that's even too thick. Hold on a second. That's definitely thick. There's a lot of dried, caked up toothpaste over there. So let me get the screwdriver and get it fit in there, and I'll continue the video in a minute. Okay, I don't know if you can see over here. There's probably not. Nope, it's not showing. There's a whole bunch of toothpaste, dried toothpaste, that is on this shirt that I'm working on. That was all caked into the tip over here. It looks like this is, can I get my hand in here? Looks like this is kind of a flexible material, this white. So you can move your screwdriver in there, and this white stuff is soft. It will cave in a little bit, and you should be able to bend your screwdriver down in there. It is, I just don't want to crack this thing. And so let me, you can kind of, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm able to dig in there a little bit, and it's definitely on there. And I can see how I could easily crack this right now. I don't know what it looks like under there, so let me go back to that bigger screwdriver that I had before. You could definitely jam this thing into your finger. You could put that. Wow, this part is really on there. All right, and I'm kind of struggling a little bit trying to get this thing off. Mostly because I don't want to break it, and I don't know what it looks like underneath there. It's trying to break loose, but it's not easily breaking loose, so that's the problem. Maybe after I get this off, or I did this a couple times, I can see what's going on in there now. Yeah. It is coming out, but like I said, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how this piece is held on there. Okay, you can see now, I think, how's the lighting on this thing? Maybe that's a little better. You can hopefully see all the dried toothpaste in there, which is disgusting, but you can see that it's slowly coming loose. It's prying up off of whatever is holding this thing on. And, you know, there are videos that show how to do this, and they just take pictures. They just show photographs. I want you to actually see this being done as much as I can. Oh, good. My arm is out of the way. I know you're supposed to do this with a dead battery so it doesn't keep cranking on, but what the hell? Yeah, I can't see what's in there. I don't know how oh, it just broke loose. Okay. Let me see. Good. This is good. Yeah, I'd rather break this and throw it away if I have to, but I want this video to be worthwhile to somebody, so I'm going to take my time and try to show it. What's going on here? Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. Ooh, that's zoomed in a little too much. Sorry about that. Okay, you can see. Oh, it's starting to come off now. You can see, well, you saw me removing it, going in there and prying it loose. So let's take this off so you can see what is actually happening, because I didn't know what was happening at the time. This is the part. Try to go slow there. Let's put this on the screwdriver. Maybe that will help. Maybe not. All right, let me try to get, I can't extend this lamp any better, and I don't really have good lighting here to make this video good. So that's the part. When it goes back on, obviously, if you need to mark it, you can, but you can see how it's going to go back on. Okay, so what held it in place? I don't know. It just looks like it's press fit around there, so you need to get in, and you can see all the caked in, the dried toothpaste still. So you've got to remove this part first. That's step one. And now I'm going to turn off the video, and let's see, can you see that? Good. I'm going to turn off the video. I'm going to go get the power charger, and we will continue. Okay, let's see now. I got the power charger. I'm probably going to do this video over. It's nighttime here in Los Angeles. I'll probably do this over the night and finish it off tomorrow so that I don't have to get all the equipment ready for this video when it's late. So, I've got the, zoom out a little bit. There's the power charger that you can see over there. That's the toothbrush holder. And that is the AC adapter, and that's the little part that I'm talking about, the this little triangle piece over here. That should go into the bottom of this toothbrush. Let me zip this up just a little bit. There we go. So let's try to unscrew that. I'm going to insert the make it a good video so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to insert the toothbrush into there, and I'm going to turn the toothbrush to the left, counterclockwise, and unscrew. Probably going to be a... Oh, there it goes on again. That's why you want to do this when the battery's totally dead. But that's okay. I could get this off much quicker if I wasn't making this video and trying to get this so you can see what I'm doing. But, all right, let me get that back in there. Oh, that didn't sound good. Okay, let me, yeah, all right, let me go switch hands here so I can make this easier to do. It might already be done, I don't know. Does not seem to want to come out. All right, let me shut the video off and get this position so it's easier for me to work on, and I'll come back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Hey, yeah, you can see all the dirt that's coming off of this thing. It's disgusting, and I wash this all the time. There's just caked toothpaste everywhere. All right, I kept on unscrewing this thing, and nothing was going on, so it's unscrewed as far as it can go. That's why I was starting to hear little popping sounds, because the screw's just turning in place, which means the screw is completely out. This is probably caked on with toothpaste, and that's why it's not coming out. So I'm going to wiggle this thing. Oh, I'm going to wiggle this thing around a little bit, try to break some of the toothpaste. But you can see it doesn't really look like it's out that far. But let's get more lighting in there. No, that's not helping. Let's do it this way. There we go. So you can see it's barely turned out, but I just think the toothpaste is dried in there. So let me, oh, okay, I just heard it pop a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to wiggle this cap off, or this bottom, whatever this thing is. You can see it's starting to come loose now. I just want you to see, I could take pictures of this, but I'd rather you see what you're going to be dealing with. So let me wiggle this thing off, and hopefully it comes out. I don't know if it's still screwed in there. It might be screwed in there still and not wanting to come out. Let's turn this just a little bit more. That's probably what was going on. I don't know if this screw comes out all the way or what. So, well, you're seeing exactly what could happen to you. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so the screw was still in there. So the screw doesn't come out. That's what you're dealing with. Let's zoom in on that. Nice little threaded plastic screw. And that's the bottom. Okay, so we're getting there. Let me get that out of the way. Where did I put the plastic ring? I put the plastic ring somewhere so I wouldn't lose it. And okay, there it is. Let me get that out of the way. So now we've got the insides here. Let's try to zoom in a little bit. Zoom in and get some good lighting on that. That is held in by these two little tangs on here. Let me see if I don't know if you could even see it. So I'm going to put a screwdriver on there so you can see what I'm going to have to do. There's a little plastic tang over here, right over here. You can probably see it. It's right up on the top, right there. There's a tang on the top, or on the left and on the right, on the top, on the bottom. There's another one. You should be able to see it. Let's get that. Let's get this in here. This little tang right over here. It's probably going to look a little better when it's on the video. I'm just looking at a small camera right now. So both of those tangs need to be pressed inward so that this unit starts to come out. So let me zoom out a little bit. And let's see what's going on here. I'm going to try to wiggle this. Oh, I try to push at the tip. That's what you want to do. You don't be careful. I'm going to be pressing downward. And obviously it's not going to go down because the tangs are in the way. So I'm going to try to get in there with one finger, and you really can't see much of this, I'm sure, but this will make more sense to you once it's out. Okay, there we go. Now that's what's going on. Okay. Okay, so I see what's happening. Well, where did we go? We kind of lost the picture here. These tangs are stuck into this little, there's an indent in the side of the case, so these tangs need to be pressed in. Let me remove it now so that you can see what I'm talking about. I'm pressing inward with the screwdriver and pressing on those tangs and trying to get this thing to move, which it doesn't want to do. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you can see that. This side and this side, that's what I'm trying to remove. It's kind of stuck inside the whole circuit board thing, so let me... Oh. Yeah, okay. I'm going to press. Let me zoom out. I'm just having a hard time making this so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to press on the top of this unit, see if I can get this thing to move at all. All right, I'll be back in a minute. More problems. Okay, I'm back. I just needed to get on my visors and zoom in really close so I can see what's going on. And you're going to see that in a minute. You really just need to, you don't want to pull on this because this has got wires attaching itself to the PC board. So you just want to press these tangs in with a screwdriver. Look closely. And, oh, there we go. Okay. So you can see right what's going on now. So that's what it was. I was pressing these things. I'm going to pull this board out. Oh, there, it's all coming out. Let's zoom in on here so you can see. Hopefully you can see it. Let's get this out of the way for a minute. Can you see that? That's what those little white pieces were stuck in. It's indented on the side. And so you're pressing these pieces in. This is what's stuck inside those, yeah, you can see it right now. I'm gonna press it so you can see. This is what I was doing. See that? See this outer piece? See how it presses? So that's what I was doing, pressing those pieces on both sides. And now, now we're making some good progress here. So we can get rid of this thing for the moment. I got to decide how much more of this I want to do tonight. We got the NiCad battery in here, and this is a huge NiCad. I thought this was going to be a AA, but I don't know. Not sure if this is a AA or not. We're going to find out, because I bought a AA to replace it, but this is huge, so I don't think this is what I bought. And we'll get to that in a minute. That's why I'm doing the video, so I can help everybody else deal with this. They've got the newer models, the cheaper models that cost about 25, 30, 40 bucks. And it goes along the same line. You just have to go really slow. You have to remove, I think you have to remove the ring on most of those on the top, and you got to take the bottom part out. And then the newer models, the cheapy models, are just a nightmare to remove the battery. There's a lot of stuff you have to do to get to it. I don't know if it's worth the $35 to do it. To me, it is. I'll go out and I'll spend the money, put $5 or $8 into a battery for this thing, so I can throw this video up there and maybe help somebody out. There's the nice big spring that is going to be removed as we, after this battery comes out. You should be able to see that. That spring is going to be removed, and then after we put the battery in, the spring will be put back in. What we're going to do now is you need to get a T6 torque wrench. Let me get my T6 torque wrench, which is over here. T6, see I wrote on the top, T6. Get the T6 torque wrench, and right inside here is a T6 screw, right over there. Let's see, can you see it? Okay, so we're going to put the T6 torque wrench in there and go counterclockwise. Be careful, you don't want to break this. That's why I'm doing this on a soft chair, so that if I press too hard, the chair will give, and if I drop something, it should go right on the t-shirt. All right, come on, come out. It's loose, it's just kind of stuck in the plastic. Okay, is it going to come out yet? Nope, doesn't want to come out. There, it came out. Okay, so that's the screw that came out. Don't want to lose that, so that goes with everything else that I've removed from here. Now, what do we have? This unit is held on by this little white tang and this white tang over here. So we need to carefully, it looks like, remove these things, or else you could easily break this and ruin it. So let's see if I can get a screwdriver. Try to put a screwdriver in here. Lift that up a little bit, and yeah, very fragile. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my nail. I'll put my nail under the left side, and I'm going to put a little screwdriver under the right. Is that what I want to do? No, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to take that white thing off. Okay, ignore what I just said. We want to take this whole unit off. I'm going to take off this whole unit, and it's kind of held underneath. It's kind of, oh boy. It's held underneath over here under the board, which means we have to go to this side. And there's two little tangs on each side that are going straight through, so it looks like we just need to remove. Can I wiggle that loose? It's being held in there. These black ends are stuck in here. That's what I want to remove without breaking this thing. So let's see if I can get the screwdriver to, there it goes. A little bit of pressure. All right, you saw what I did. I think I'll just take the screwdriver, stick it in here, I'll pull these black things away that are holding this unit to the circuit board. And, oh, okay, very nice. And then, remember I told you it's stuck under the board over there? So we're going to remove this guy. That is the display. The display, I'll put that where everything else is so I don't lose it. Now we're definitely making some progress. What else do we have here? We've got the battery. How is this battery held in? Hold on, I'm going to shut off the video. I'll be okay, I'm back. Good thing I shut that camera off because it locked up on me. All right, so what we've got, let's zoom in a little bit. I don't even think I've got the right battery to finish this job right now, so I might have to buy the right one. I think I bought the wrong thing. I thought it was a AA, but I don't know, that battery looks really big. Battery is marked over there as plus, so I put a plus sign over there just so that I know, and a minus sign, and I did the same thing on the other side. You don't have to do that, but that's the kind of person I am. That's the stuff I do. You can see the battery is held. I think you can see it. Maybe not, because the camera is just not that. Can't even zoom into that part. The battery is held on with these tabs, and that is the plus terminal. And that is the minus terminal. So what we're going to have to do is remove the solder, which I will do in the next part of the video. When I get this set up in a better location where I can set up the soldering iron so you can really see what I'm doing. So that has got to be removed. The solder from the top and the solder from the bottom so that this battery can come out. And that's when I will remove the spring afterwards. So I'm going to be setting up the soldering iron. If you don't know how to solder well, then you could totally screw this thing up or burn up the board. If you don't have a good soldering iron and it gets way too hot, you could really mess this thing up. But, you know, you're taking a chance to see if this is going to work. So before it goes in the trash, you may as well try. You've got nothing to lose. So I will continue the video tomorrow when I get this thing set up outside with a tripod and some good lighting and the soldering iron so you can see what goes on. That I'm going to have to remove these two solder connections, and then this battery will come out. The battery's got some tabs on there. I don't know. I got to see what this battery is first, because it does not look like it's not a AA. It's huge. And I might have to buy this on the internet, and then after I get it, then I'll continue the video. So I'll be back in a couple seconds, couple minutes, couple days, couple weeks. That's it. Okay, turns out that I bought rechargeable AA batteries. I thought this was going to be a AA battery repair, but it isn't. This is called a sub-C NiCad, or nickel hydride, whatever that thing is. It's a sub-C cell, which means that it's 4/5 the size of a C cell battery. There are two different styles, so you need to measure the length of the battery before you purchase. You're probably going to have to look online so you can buy the right battery, do some research on who sells batteries, and buy the right item. This one is 42 millimeters long. Mine, as I said, is a Triumph Oral-B. There are different size batteries for different models for Sonicare and Oral-B. This unit will use either a 42 millimeter length battery or a 50 millimeter length battery. So you need to find out which battery you've got in here. As I look at this thing, I could probably have ordered the 50 millimeter because we've got this nice big spring in here, and it might have worked. With these batteries, on the positive post, it's mounted in the center of the battery. Police helicopters flying overhead. On the negative post, it's mounted on the side of the battery. It's not in the center, it's on the side. But all of these batteries that you purchase, these batteries are made in Japan. They come to the U.S. and then they tack on the tabs on the battery in the U.S. So even though they tack the tabs on there, the tabs are extremely long, so you're going to have to do some cutting length cutting to make sure once you get the tabs through the circuit board, you're going to have to cut the tabs down to the proper length before you solder them, and you're probably going to have to do some, you might have to do some trimming on the width of the tabs so they go through the hole. Hopefully not, but that could be the case. So, like I was saying, unless you know how to solder, you probably don't want to attempt this. I was looking at some reviews online. Some people said they would never do it again. Some people said they regretted doing it. Other people said they were happy they did it. The battery was good. Some places sell very crappy batteries. Other places sell very good batteries. Some sell batteries for about $13, $14 with $6 shipping, so that brings it up to about $17 or $18. And yeah, you're saving a $100 well, I've got this toothbrush for $50. It was $100 toothbrush on sale for $50. The newer units that are cheaper, not the Triumph, they are about $30 to $35 a piece. So the question is, do you want to go out and spend $15 on a battery when you could replace your toothbrush with a cheapy model for $30? Tough call. I just went out and bought a $35 unit. I bought two of them and gave one to somebody who paid me for it, so we split the cost. And there was a rebate on it, so it cost me about $30. This unit that I'm fixing cost me $50, I told you, and this battery that I just purchased on the internet is going to cost me, with shipping, something like $14.39. So it's a $15 repair. And hopefully it works. If it does, then I'll be more than happy to put a cool video on that people can benefit from, hopefully. And if it doesn't work, then it's $15 in the garbage can. And that's just how it goes. So, I guess that's it. I am going to throw all these pieces of video on the computer and charge the battery up. And when the new battery comes in, I will continue the editing process and filming process so that we get a good video for everybody. Until then, see ya! All right, people, I am back. You can't really tell from the video, but yeah, I had to buy a new battery because, like I said in the video before, I thought it was a AA that was in here, and it wasn't. It was a sub. It's called a sub C, or a 4/5 C cell battery. So we need to remove this battery that's in here, and I'm trying to do this so that I can do my job of removing it without blocking. Oh, that is not good solder without blocking the video so that you can see it. So, if you know how to solder or unsolder, that's good. Trying to get the temperature of the soldering iron. Okay, right now it's at about 750 degrees. Hopefully you can see this in the video. Let's see, if I move my hand here, what does that do? It completely blocks you seeing anything. So I can't do that. Let's see, a 750. 750 is going to clean that up. There's a lot of solder on here, so this is going to take a little bit of time. I'll just keep the video going. Kind of interesting. I'm using a soldering iron and some solder wick, and I am using the cutters over there to stop this thing from rolling around on the chair, because normally I would be doing this in a better setup so that I could make it easier on myself, but I can't really do that and make a video because I don't have a good setup here. Alright, 750 is not good. It's not. This thing is sucking up all the heat. It's like a huge heat sink on here. So I'm going to go work on the negative battery terminal post for a second. Let's see if I can get a better removal on that. There's a ton of solder on this thing, which there should be. Okay, so about half the solder is removed on the negative. You tilt this up so you can see. Yeah, you can see the bottom one over there. About half the solder is removed from the bottom one. And I'm working on the top one over there too, the positive, and about half the solder is removed from that. So what I'm doing is I'm using the solder wick, as you can see. Hopefully you can see it. The lighting kind of sucks over here. And I'm going to cut off the second piece of solder wick I've cut off. That's caked with solder. So I'm going to shut off the video and finish this off so that you don't have to watch me do this, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, are we still on? Let's see if we're still on. Hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you can see the right over here. I think it's going to show up on the video. You can see that and the bottom one down over here. What I did, the solder on here is crap, which is typical of most things that are made commercially. It's really bad solder. It's very difficult to unsolder. I could have removed the solder, but I didn't want to damage the board. I could see that I didn't want to put on I didn't want to put on enough heat to start removing the solder, and it was heat sinking into the battery. So what I did is I just took the tip and I pushed that way towards the bottom to move the tab off of the board, and I pushed this way outward on both sides. I pushed outward on both sides to take the tab that was down, and the tab was down, and I bent it up like that, and the tab over here was bent down, and I bent it up. So hopefully you can see that in the video. I don't know, I'm really close, I'm zoomed in. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Maybe it might make it a little easier to see some of this stuff now. Oops, wrong direction. Alright, so hopefully this battery is going to come out now, because the tabs are both removed. They're both moving around, so the battery should come out. As I said before, I marked it minus, which I didn't have to, but I marked minus and plus, which is the minus and plus in the battery. And don't forget there's a spring in here. I'm not gonna try to remove the spring now. It's really packed in there. I'm just gonna see if I can get this battery out without breaking this thing. So, and I know my hand is in the way of the video. I don't want to block what I'm doing. So let me see if I can pull this battery out. The battery will come out, I can feel. There's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure from this spring. Let me see if I can get the spring tension out of here. Alright, I shouldn't be using cutters on this, but I don't really care. I'll try to bend this spring out of here. And did I break it? Now you can see You can see the springs over there. This little plastic thing has an indent over here. Has an indent, and that indent goes on this little hump on the back of the motor. You should be able to see. So that part is out, and hopefully the battery is just going to pop right out right now. Battery is definitely held in by these clips on the side, making it a little difficult to pull out, but I'm going to move it towards me so I can see what I'm doing and try to pull this thing out right now. All right, there it is. There's the battery. Okay, so we're almost done. Battery is out. You can see they've got these weird bends on this thing, and they kind of nipped it down on the edge of the negative so that they could get it into the board. So let me go get the battery that just arrived today in the mail, and I'll finish off this video in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Let me try to get this. Don't need the solder whip right now, so I can get that out of the way. This is the new battery. Just arrived today, and take it out of the package. And I don't know how much of this I'm going to edit when I put this on the internet. It's like a 5-minute job. It's going to be a 2-hour video. But okay, so that's the battery right out of the package. They've got looks like some heat shrink, black heat shrink on the leads, and this is the battery that I took out. Of course, no heat shrink on the leads. Is that showing up in the picture? Yeah. All right, so that's the piece of heat shrink that I just took off, and that's the other piece of heat shrink. So that's the new battery. And as you can see, these pieces are fairly big, and you can see what I need to do. You can see how this is narrow. This is trimmed down a little bit. These are pretty small. These are not that long compared to what's on here. So let me do some trimming, and we'll see if I can get this thing to go into the slots on the PC board over here. They're going to have to go into the 2 slots that I removed the original from over there and over there, the plus and the minus. All right, back soon. All right, let me show you what's going on here. This is the, I don't really mark these well. That's the, all right. You can see how one of these terminals on the original is cut off to the side. It's like 1/3. I mean, 2/3 on the right are gone and 1/3 on the left is there. That's what you have to do on this new battery. And on this positive terminal, you can see how the center 1/3 is there and the outer left 1/3 and the outer right 1/3 is gone. That's what you're going to need so that you can push this battery into the slots on this PC board. So I'm going to push that in there, and then I'll solder it up, and we'll be back in a minute so I can finish this video up. All right, I just wanted to show you what's going on. This thing, anybody who says this thing, anyone on the internet who says this thing is an easy job that you can do in 5 minutes is lying. I do work like this all the time, and this is just a pain in the ass to do. And the reason is you've got to trim these leads. Now, I put the battery. I was able to get the battery in there, but the problem was I hadn't cut back far enough on this on these terminals over here, so they were getting stuck. They weren't seating properly. I could have soldered it in there, but it wasn't the right way to do it. So I had to remove this thing and cut all the way down. Make sure you measure with the battery, with a meter, and mark plus or minus on there, because they don't really, I guess on the internet they say if you get an indent or something, what is it? All I know is I used a meter, and that's how I was able to tell for sure. So use a meter. You can see on this negative thing I had to trim it way back. And the reason this is such a pain in the ass is you've got to take these flimsy, flexible terminals and push them both into these 2 little holes over here while you were trying to separate these battery holders, these 4 tangs on here. So if you try to push the battery in there, these leads bend because there's no way to line these leads up because they're not firm. Most battery leads would be really firm material, so it would be easy to do. This stuff's really flexible, so you can cut it. And as far as cutting it, make sure you've got very good wire cutters to do this stuff. It's very flimsy. You could probably use a scissors, but because it is flimsy, it makes it very difficult to cut. I had to get the good wire cutters to make sure this came out right. So, yeah, make sure you use good wire cutters, and it is going to be a little difficult to push this thing in there, separate these 4 pieces, push the battery in, and get those 2 leads into those 2 small holes. But I'm going to do that in a minute, and then I'll come back. Okay, I don't have much battery life left, so I'm going to have to finish this video after I charge this thing up. I got the battery in there. Let me see. You should be able to see that. You can see how this lead thing's kind of tweaked out, and the negative, it's kind of tweaked out. It's bent to get in there. They're both soldered. That's the negative soldered. That's the positive soldered. I'm going to put the spring in here now. And after I put the spring in here, I'm going to go charge up the battery on this thing, and hopefully I can finish off this video. So, yeah, it took a while to get the battery leads in there. I'm still not happy with how I trimmed them. As you can see on the original, the negative is mounted on the end, and in the replacement it's mounted in the center, and it's really difficult to bend this thing over. You really have to take it and bend it. Instead of being straight, you got to bend it kind of and get it trimmed so it goes into that little hole. But it's in there. I'm going to pop the spring in here now, and then we'll start closing it up, and hopefully it's going to show a display that it's working. All right, I've still got a little battery left. Okay, you can see I pushed that spring in there, real pain in the ass because that terminal was in the way because of how, like I said, how I had to trim it, and it's just not easily compatible to go in here. So I was able to squeeze this little plastic piece back on the bottom hump of that motor, push the spring in there. I had to squeeze it down to get it in there, and the battery slid down all the way to the bottom, and now it's finished. So, yeah, I just want to get this thing done and closed up. I still don't know if this is going to work, but I'm hoping it's going to work. All right, I'll be back in a minute to put the display on there, the switch. Okay, hey, I'm back. Hey, the good thing is that there's still some battery power on here, and I don't know when this thing's going to die out, so I just want to get this done. Here's the display that we removed originally. I'm going to try to put that back in. There's the screw hole over there, so the screw hole goes down towards the bottom. Let's see what happens here. It should just pop right in there and snap in. I hope. It snapped it. Oh, we got a display. I don't know if you can see that on there. Yeah, you should be able to see that. Okay, so maybe it is going to work. This thing's totally dead, but let me press the button and see if I get anything. Absolutely nothing. Totally dead. But that is a good sign. That's a good sign. So now I'm going to go to the bottom over here where we removed the screw originally when I was taking this thing out. This is a T6, a Torx head number 6. So I'm going to screw that back in there. Oh, I don't want to break this. All right, it's screwing in there. Hold on. Let me put it in my hand. Okay, so the T6 screw is done. We're almost done. We're definitely almost done. That's the majority of the video, really. Okay, sorry. Across the room getting the rest of the parts. Lots of people are trying to get a hold of me on the internet. Can't get away from these people. Who just sent me a message? Sorry. True Love? Okay. Yeah, that was somebody who just told me that she was dating somebody, so we couldn't really get involved, and I said, hey, that's okay, we'll still be friends because I'm sure he'll be gone way before I am. And she writes back 5 minutes later and says he's already gone. Wow. All right, back to the video. This unit needs to get put back in here. Remember I told you about the 2 tangs? I took pictures. I'm going to include in the video of those 2 openings on the side, and these little pieces end up sliding in there. Well, I'm just going to slide this thing in here now. You see this in the video? Hopefully you can see it in the video without my hand being in the way. You can see the little clear glass. Just be really careful with this thing. A lot of people, when they do stuff like this, they rush. I've done this over a couple days so I could get the battery, and I'm doing little steps at a time. I know how to do this kind of stuff, but a lot of people, they get big clumsy hands, they rush, they push things, they're not careful, they're not gentle. You see I'm carefully putting stuff in. I'm not jamming my hand in there. So now, for these little tangs, you got to push in on the side as you go to slide it. Remember, we had to press in to take it out. You got to push in on the side to let it slide in. It's definitely sliding in. To go to the top over here and start pulling a little bit. You got to get this thing to seat. You got to get this thing to go in, and it's not going in. It doesn't want to go in. What am I saying? It doesn't want to go in. I think it's already in. Did it seat? Did it lock in? You pull a little bit more. No, it didn't lock in all the way. Yes, now I think it's locked in. It's done. It's actually done. Now you take the bottom. Can you see anything? Okay, it's still flashing. Let's see if this bottom piece goes on. Remember the plastic screw on the bottom. I don't know if this thing's seated all the way. It sure looks like it's seated. Put the, maybe that's not the right direction it's supposed to go in. I don't know. Usually I put front and back when I do stuff, but, okay, I don't know if it's gone in all the way. I don't think it has gone in all the way. I'm going to press a little bit more on the PC board. I'm not going to press on the plow. You just heard the pop. Hopefully you just heard the snap. Now it's seated. Now both sides are seated. I pressed on the PC board. I did not press on the coil. Now I'm going to, oh God, my hand's in the way. I'm going to press. I'm going to continue the video. I'm going to press on the bottom as I shut off this video so I can get the power charger so I can screw this thing together. Whoa, that battery's running down. Okay, get the power cord from your battery charger. And remember how we did this when we took it out? Turn it until it seats in. I know you can't see that because of my hand. Turn it until it seats in. And start screwing it together to tighten the screw and get it to lock. And almost out of video. Almost out of battery. It's almost sealed. Hold on a second. I'm going to lift this thing up so I can do it. Let me shut off the video. No, I'm not going to shut off the video. You can just look at blank table. Okay. Tightening it down. It is tight. And that is it. And then you've got the last piece. You need to put this little blue thing back on. Be really careful. You don't want to take a screwdriver and jam the thing into your finger. It's probably a really tight fit, so I'm going to go press this thing down. Yeah, you do need to have a screwdriver, and I don't have a screwdriver, so I'm going to go get a screwdriver. I'm going to shut this video off and finish this up in 2. Okay, there's still some battery life. All right, it's finished. This thing's a pain in the ass to put on too. What I was doing is I just took some needle nose and kept on wiggling to try to push this thing in. It's not something that just snaps in because this unit keeps pressing down, so I had to pull this thing up as I was wiggling the needle nose to try to get that thing to lock in. The only thing about this job is there's a little speck on the display inside there that every time I charge this up, I'm going to see that little speck. But that will remind me that I replaced the battery myself. So that is how you change the battery on one of these things. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to make a massive donation to my PayPal account to get me out of debt or make my life better. And I'm going to go put this on the charger now and charge this thing up, and I will be done in another couple minutes. After it charges, I'll power this thing up so you can hear that it works. And that's it. Okay, there's still a little battery life left. Let's see. I just put this thing on the charger. I don't know if you can see it. It's not enough light here. There we go. I just put it on the charger. I just want to complete the video by letting you hear that it works, so hopefully this is going to come on right now. Nope, totally dead. Let's take it out of here. There it is, and that is how you change the battery on these things. Alright, I'm going to go put this on the charger and leave it on all night. It's been fun making this video.